welcome back. Wait, are we recording this like on TV, like for YouTube?
Mm-mm,
Oh, thank
Not
God.
the way
I
I'm
was gonna
feeling.
say,
I don't want y'all seeing me the
thank
way I
you.
feel right now.
I'm happy. I don't got a bra on.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah, but we're still recording. Hi, guys.
Right. Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Urban Laughter, the braless wonder.
And while you may not realize it, I am JB.
Y'all, don't he sound husky as hell? He sound like that man where I'm doing fat ass shit. Do you know the TikTok little sound? Ooh. Y'all, JB just coughed like a. You know how little kids cough with their mouth all open and down like open face? He just did that, but he gonna mute it. So it was so ugly.
Yeah, I was trying to hurry up and run to mute it. I was trying to mute it before it happened so that you didn't hear it on the call.
Child. Are you feeling better?
Better than I did last week. I'm not as tired, man. When I tell you the fatigue was hitting me, and no, this is not COVID, you guys. But I hit up Urban after was like, let me go ahead and say that I got tested. It's negative, so I'm regular sick. Because people still do get regular sick, in case you're wondering, in the world of COVID. But yeah, outside of fatigue, and this voice, hopefully next time I record, I'll have a new voice. I will be in a new place next time we record too. So,
yeah, we love a new place. Oh, I got a black magic woman too. I meant to tell you today.
Oh, look at you! Look at her being all proactive and stuff. Well, before we get into
y'all, we ain't got nothing together.
Right, this is gonna be a shoot the shit episode. So get ready. But before we get going, as always, if you're not following us on social media, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Rude Urban Truth Podcast, Twitter at Rude Urban Truth Pod, and on YouTube. Since it still will be posting on YouTube, you just won't see our faces. Just click the subscribe button at the bottom and check out the website, therudeurban.truth.com, where our bios and everything in our storage all there, which... that was interesting because I hadn't been to our website in a long time. So if anyone has gone there, my bad.
I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry. Me too.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So with that all out of the way, rude quote of the week. What you have for us this week?
Okay, I got it from one of these pages I follow. Nignogs be hoes. Okay, that's the name of the page. And the rude quote this week is: I hate when I see a fine ass man click on his profile and he got one of them things that eat chicken nuggets. Hurtful.
Okay, so things that eat chicken nuggets. So that's how we gonna refer to kids nowadays, huh?
One of them things that eat chicken nuggets. Yeah. When I first read it, y'all, it took me a second to process it. Like, one of them things that eat chicken, and I kept thinking, what the hell we eating chicken nuggets? I mean, I know we don't know. One of them things. I was thinking in terms of animals. Like, I'm like, what animal eats chicken? No, not the kids. Not her calling these kids one of them things that eat chicken nuggets. I said, oh, not the nuts.
That eat chicken nuggets.
One of them things that eat chicken nuggets.
I mean, but, some kids are all right. Some of them. Not all of them hoes, but some of them. We'll see. But, yeah. All right, so rude quote down. Check.
Boom.
You said you had a black magic woman first.
Yes.
This week?
And the reason I have a black magic woman this week is because there was this novel, really short novel. Y'all should check it out. Super cheap on Amazon. It's about this woman named Nella Larson. It's called Passing. It basically is a novel about black women who are passing in the 20s. So in 19th century New York, they're passing and the different lives where one woman's married to a white man, one woman is married to a black man. They're both black. But just breaking down, and it's about basically colorism. Not in the sense that it's like a hotly debated topic, but it's Nella Larson, and it's good. It's about 2 minute pass. But anyway, Nella Larson, she's a novelist. She was a nurse. She was born in Chicago, died in Brooklyn. She wrote the novel Passing. It's one of 2 books. Her other book she wrote, I think, it's called Quicksand. It is Quicksand, yeah. Okay, so it's called Quicksand. I read her book Passing when I was in grad school, like my first year, I want to say maybe. And it was a really good book because it really just talked about black people that pass. If you're black, we all know about passing, right? And it's basically set in Harlem. It's the 20s. It's the reunion of 2 childhood girls. I guess I should say that, and how their lives increase with each other. But recently, someone made a movie about it, and it made me so happy. And Tessa Thompson plays like the lead character, and there's a few other women too. JB will look it up because I know him.
Yeah, I think I already heard of it because it it's on Netflix.
Okay, right. So that's what I was getting ready to get to. So here in New York, they had announced it, and it wasn't like a huge announcement, but it was in select theaters. I think it was up at the AVC Theater up in Harlem, or near that Harlem region. If anybody wants to go check it out, that's in New York too. It's up there, and I was going to go see it, but it's also on Netflix right now. So check it out. There's a novel that goes with it. I recommend reading the novel first, then watching the movie. I always recommend that first. But it was a good novel. It just made me happy because Nella Larsen's not a really well-known author. She's a Black woman. And it's just nice to see like a movie being made about it. And I hope it gets a lot of awards or some high accolades and it moves up. And then there's also another Black film. This is unrelated to the Black Magic Woman because we're done with Nella Larsen. Congrats to her. Happy the movie's happening. It's another movie, the cowboy movie.
The Harder They Fall.
There we go. The Harder They Fall. Let's run the numbers up because I'm going to watch that too.
Yeah, I need to. I haven't watched that yet. I haven't watched Passing yet either, but I had, I'm always paying attention to what movies are releasing and all the other stuff. So I had already read up on both of them.
Or not a movie, a movie buff.
But Passing is actually getting a lot of really good reviews.
I didn't know it was getting. I'm so happy. Again, read the book. There's so many books I want to recommend. I'll start recommending books.
There's a award. I don't know what to call it, but Gotham Independent Film Awards. It's the date of their ceremony is November 29th. So far, that movie Passing has been nominated for Best Feature, the Director Award, Best Screenplay, Outstanding Lead by Tessa Thompson, and outstanding supporting performance by Ruth Negga.
I know this is making me happy, right?
So, and we already know that The Harder They Fall has been getting amazing reviews. Yeah, absolutely amazing reviews. I haven't watched it yet, but I definitely plan on it because one, I'm a huge Jonathan Majors fan now. It started from Lovecraft Country, but then seeing him in Loki and all these other things, I think he's great. Then obviously Regina King having actually we talked about her last week, I think, for getting the week before that for getting her Hollywood Walk of Fame star finally. I just love her. There's so many things that she's been doing, and so it's a great cast. So Idris Elba's on it, Lakeith Stanfield is in it. So it's just like tons of great people that most of us have grown to love over the years from their works and how they act out away from the camera. So I definitely need to watch both of those because I'm done with Star Wars shit anyway, so I got plenty of time now.
I'm laughing at you going through just earlier today I thought you had Star Wars on in the background. Remember I was like, are you still watching Star Wars? Was that the episode of
that was the thing because the thing you were hearing was I was playing Pokemon. I was playing Pokemon because I recently got Pokemon Sword on the Switch because I hadn't purchased it a long time ago. So,
but you got a Switch?
Yeah, I've been had
those things are so expensive. Of course you did because you spend tons on. Okay, I'm not even going into your pockets. I'm not even going into your finances today because I don't feel like it. I just added something in.
Oh, you did. You did.
Yeah, I'm saying up here because we're gonna talk about Insecure too. So should we say is it technically a spoiler alert since these episodes have already aired?
It shouldn't be. We are a whole week. We're going over episodes 1 through 3. We about to be on episode 4. If you have not seen episodes 1 through 3, then this y'all problem. Insecure is like one of the best Black shows on TV right now, and it's in its final season. You need to prioritize that and make that a part of your life for the next couple of weeks. Thank you.
Hello.
And then I'm ready for rap shit when that comes out too. I saw that Jay Ellis, who plays Lawrence on Insecure, just directed an episode of that series because that's another series that Issa Rae's doing.
Is it?
Yeah, she's not starring in it, but it's like she's working on it. The City Girls are a part of the team, and everything is really going to be like. I just know it's going to be funny. It's going to be hilarious. And I love that she's putting on the people that she's putting on, like knowing that Jay Ellis is directing it. He's directed a couple episodes of Insecure. So there's a lot of stuff that Issa's got her hands in right now, and I'm here for it. So keep up. So, okay. All right. So Black Magic done. Check. So insert commercial break. No,
not insert commercial break.
Right. So next, Rude Talk. Let's go ahead and get into Rude Talk.
Rude Talk.
Yeah, you see how I waited for you. I waited for you today.
Because I was quick.
Did. No, you won't.
Okay, so first of all, we got a modern day Barbara. This is Shirley. I put the link in there so you can click on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was already looking at it. I saw this.
This is from Facebook. The Situationship. Child, why don't you share with me? I hate when JB finds stuff to be funny and viral, and then after I already seen this, why don't you share with me?
Oh, because I thought it was. I thought it was old. I had seen it. I thought a while ago, but I'm guessing it's making rounds around the internet again.
It must be. So, well, hey, who is this? Sis puts her name in. How do you know his name starts with a name? Mm-hmm. She put, why is he okay? She said, he not about to be. I hope you know you're one of many. And he broke. Everything he got came from me. Car, job, clothes, everything. So hope you got space at your crib because I'm sending him to you. Damn, queen, you better not reach out to any more women. Go light you a candle, pour a glass of wine, and pack up his shit and know he can't come here. Fuck, I look like taking care of a man. The ghetto. She said, bitch, don't uplift me. Don't uplift me.
Yeah, she bad.
Ma'am.
Oh, I hope she realized how stupid she sounded as she was sending that text message. He broke, but you with him. You buying all this stuff, and he cheating on you, but you are approaching the woman and not him. Like she said, girl, you need to leave him. Mm-hmm. Because clearly he ain't bringing nothing of value to you but dick, because that's the only thing I can assume is the reason that you're staying around, period. I just don't, it doesn't make any other sense to me. This reminds me of the other conversation. I know. Have you seen the white people stuff that's happening in Myrtle Beach? Hold on.
Myrtle Beach. Let's do this. Should I do my goofs?
Hold on. Let me. I get it for you. I will get it for you. Who posted it?
I should have put some liquor. I'm drinking orange juice, y'all, and I ain't put nobody's liquor in it, and I regret it.
All right, so I happened to be perusing the internet as I normally do, and I came across this post. Right, this post is it's in this group like local Myrtle Beach or something like that. Y'all remember when I put y'all on to the white guy from Texas who had all the multiple girlfriends and stuff, and it kind of caught up to
that was messy too.
All right, so this post was done by a white woman in Myrtle Beach named Brenda Lewis. This happened on this is really recent.
Brenda sounded like she could fight. She made good ribs.
So this is from November 11th. So what you end up seeing, I'm gonna send you this post because I want you to see.
Wait, so this past Thursday?
Yes, this past Thursday. This is pretty recent. So she made a post, right? You can tell she didn't know what she's doing because she screenshot a picture and then she was circling somebody's name. But you know how sometimes you might just swipe your finger off the picture and it might have another line up there. Right, you can undo it. Sis forgot to undo that line. But she had this picture and she's just circling this woman's head. And she says, the picture, this is a picture of the biggest phony friend in Myrtle Beach. I go out of town for 1 week and she decided to date the man that I have been seeing for almost 1 year. She supposedly was my friend, but I guess desperate old Rita will stab you in the back if it benefits her, right?
Desperate old Rita will stab you in the back.
Right. So this whole post started getting a lot of traction, right? Well, Brenda won't done. Brenda had more things to say. Now, this group has grown from like being like 300, 400 people to 19,600 members in over the last 3 days because everybody is interested in the tea that Brenda has to deliver.
Yeah, come on, tell us.
So then there was more. So she ended up coming back later because a lot of people had a lot to say. And now people are calling her a stalker. Okay, so here it goes. Some people are switching. Everybody was Team Brenda in the beginning because Brenda brought the tea to everybody. But then it got a little bit crazy.
Don't you hate when the audience turn on you?
So somebody made a post that says, I don't know, guys. I'm starting to switch teams to Rita. Why would Rita need to know your side of the story? Okay, so she has some screenshots in here. Because the guy that Brenda was dating, his name is John. So someone named Courtney made a post and said, y'all, I know John personally and have known all about this before it even went viral. And Brenda cheated on him. And then she left for a week after telling him they were done over. I can't speak for Rita or her character because I don't know her very well, but John was free to do whatever he chose. And then Rita came in because she's like, hey, girl. She said, right. Rita should have wanted to know my side too, but she's a desperate woman to do this to her next door neighbor of 16 years. And she admitted it when she was confronted. So Brenda is looking at things like, regardless of whether or not John was back on the market, you were my friend, Rita. So you shouldn't have been over here laid up in with him or whatever. So then she replied to someone else again. This is Brenda talking. So the joke's going to be on John. She's told me she doesn't want a man for sex, just dinner and help around the house. So now she's sitting there like John thinking he about to get some. And Rita don't want to get it. She just wants some food and somebody to do odds and ends around the house. So then Brenda is basically putting all the tea in this thing about all of these people. So she said John had to turn his back on $40,000 in his deceased wife's name for having no money and sell the house and get a smaller home with a mortgage at 70. He works for $10 an hour to live. Like, so she now just putting all of his business.
Okay, you said you broke, baby.
She said, since you wanted to bring this in, yeah, let me go ahead and give you a little bit more information. But now people are, and there he goes. There he is. There's John. John
chimed in?
John is in this group as well.
John has entered the chat.
He said, look, Brenda is stalker crazy. I told her last month we were done. She can't handle that and is trying to cramp my style. Rita ain't having it, though. She knows what's up.
So he want Rita, too.
Oh, there's a lot going on in here, but ain't nothing that's more entertaining than some redneck white people having at it on Facebook in the public for everybody to see. So you saw the post. I don't know what is happening here, but Brenda
made John's comment instantly.
Brenda made a post and she said, John enjoying another free meal courtesy of me. So she's just showing pictures. So you know how old girl was bragging about how she gave that man everything that he had and stuff like that. Brenda's now making herself look a little stupid too, because why would you post a picture of John with the caption that says, John enjoying another free meal courtesy of me? You are acknowledging that this man who was making next to nothing has been using you as well. Yes. I need for you to understand that does not make you look good at all. At all. But yeah, this was just some craziness that I came across that I just thought was hilarious. And there's something so wonderful about this. But somebody made a post, and I don't know if this is real or not, but somebody named Lucky Leland said, I would like to throw out a special thanks to everyone here for making this man John go viral. After 30 years of searching, due to all of these wonderful posts, I have finally found my father. Dad, I'm coming home and Mom wants to know who the hell Brenda is. I'm gonna hope that this is fake. But anyone who is interested, just do a quick Google for Brenda Lewis. She should be still trending. And she's in Myrtle Beach. That might take you straight to the local Myrtle Beach group. But yes, it is a lot going on there. So if you're interested in getting a little dose of some crazy white people stuff, that's it for you. So with that out of the way, because I'm really excited to finally be talking about Insecure on the podcast.
Okay, let's get into Insecure.
Okay, so those of you who have not watched and you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to just turn off and go. But those of you who have been watching Insecure and have been wanting to talk about it too, we're about to get into it. So let's go ahead and start with a recap.
Man, I was gonna say let's start with Condola.
So we're gonna start recap. So we are in season 5, which is how they've been referring to it. It's season 5, but since it's the last one, the cast has been calling it season 5. And
they call it Bive.
Like bye. 5.
Yeah.
Combined. So we left the cast in season 4 after all the craziness that happened with Issa and Molly, us finding out that Condola was pregnant with Lawrence's baby.
But ain't nobody had no DNA test, but we know that.
Right, and then the end of the season ended with Molly and Issa meeting up to talk at a restaurant. And that was it. We didn't hear any of what they discussed or anything. So let's go ahead and episode 1. Let's go and dive into episode 1. So we got back in episode 1 and it really just threw us into things. We're like 2 months since the last time we saw them. And they are headed
Molly is on the mend.
Yeah, they're headed to Stanford. They're headed to Stanford. Issa's not in the car with everybody because, Issa big time now. The block is getting popular and they invited her to speak at the reunion. And Molly, Tiff, and what's her name? Kelly. They're in the car driving up and... No, was Molly in the car?
Tiff's husband.
Molly wasn't in the car.
No, it was Tiff's husband.
It was Tiff's husband. Molly wasn't in the car. But they're driving up. They kind of, that's how we got a little bit of recap. We know that Molly and Andrew have broken up and Molly's been posting kind of cryptic stuff on her Instagram. And Tiff's husband has been very appreciative of some of these artistic posts. And then we have
Kelly
being Kelly, which ends up being a thing. There's going to be a thing that Kelly's being Kelly because Kelly being Kelly puts her in a weird position at this reunion. Because when they get to the reunion, Kelly finds out she dead.
No, that was funny.
I was like, I died when that shit came up.
Man.
And then the fact that all the quotes that they had for her were so... Like, this is all y'all could say about somebody.
About me, right. And she was so like, she was just like, the part where they got into the cafe and was really saying that, I thought that maybe that was a flashback and Kelly really had died for a second until she told me, like, oh, they really killed Kelly off. Like, I really thought Kelly had died. It's like, that flash flood. Like, didn't it seem like she had really died for a second?
Like, it was like, look, let's give her what she needs but that whole thing is great. Like, how would you react? Because, I feel like there are a lot of people that are the funny friend. They're the funny friend, and a lot of times their feelings are usually neglected because this person always comes off like they're happy. They're having the time of their lives. You can always go to them because you can get a laugh. But in this case, she's seeing that her being who she is has people not realizing who she really is. Like,
they said she had a good stinky leg.
Yeah, and then they had the nerve. Like, they did like a whole compilation of people who have passed. They get to her and literally turned on Stanky Leg, and people started doing the Stanky Leg in her honor, and she's standing right there.
That's what the part that was blowing me. I'm like, ain't nobody recognized that the Kelly they said was dead is actually in person.
Right. Like, I'm like, and she's literally just going along with it, which is still so bizarre to me. Like, I just don't see myself doing that. But then they had old girl that they went to college with, who apparently quit college so she go tour with Sierra, and she robbed them at the liquor store.
No, she ain't want Issa's ugly ass shoes. Said, Molly, come up them shoes, girl. Issa was all like, here. She's like, oh, Issa, you can keep them. I was like, oh, poor Issa. She told Issa keep them. She's like, Issa, you can keep them. Like, just.
So after that happened, there was a lot of the internet seemed to be split when they get in the car and Issa and Molly kind of laugh off the fact that they could have died from a robbery. And a lot of people were like, I heard some people say that they felt like this just kind of shows how toxic their relationship was because they really were out here about to die and they actually in here laughing about it in the car. But I just kind of took it as like, yo, we literally could have died. This is right. It only
happened to us. Yeah.
And also kind of like, we have a lot of problems that we've been dealing with. This kind of shows me that shit is nothing compared to the fact that we literally could have sat here and died. Like, if we can laugh this off, we can work through whatever issues we got. Right. We literally almost died.
Yo, when they got robbed, all I kept thinking in my mind was, they really got robbed.
Right.
Like, this is crazy. Like, and it was from their old classmate.
Too.
It was so, he all sailing. And I look at him like, wait, When he brought him down, I was like, oh, and I'm like, wait, do he know her? I'm like, oh, they're in cahoots.
Right. And she like, ain't shit changed. Girl. And then for people who don't know.
But she always, but didn't they say something to the effect that she was stealing or something?
I can't remember. What they probably said. But one thing that
them saying ain't shit changed blew me. I was like, not y'all saying ain't shit changed and right. Got robbed by this woman.
But one thing for people who I was watching that and she looked so familiar to me. They watches The Oval. The girl who robbed him actually is on the show The Oval. And it's another one of those situations where you see someone acting on something that isn't Tyler Perry related and they're so much better. Like it really convinces me that there are a lot of really good actors out there and you don't know because they own Tyler Perry shit. But you find out they are good once they get off of it. But like, what were your thoughts about the whole Kelly thing? Because, there was a moment in the episode where Molly was talking to Kelly and was like, yo, so like, how long did it take when you and
to get back to normal, her and Tiff?
Yeah, her and Tiff get back to normal. And she was like, yo, you have to be fake normal or fake good until you really good or whatever.
Yeah, you got to fake it till it actually makes it.
And then, because it's still a lot of this you got to work through, but you can't work through it without being around each other. So it's like you kind of have to put yourself in a position where it's probably going to feel uncomfortable for a little bit, but the only way you can work through it is if you're actually working.
Let's talk about everybody too. After this, we need to talk about everybody bitching about Tiff being an AKA, which I thought was a good thing.
Yeah, because I was going to get to that.
People wasn't feeling it. I thought it was like a homage, like a really positive thing, like a successful black woman is an AKA, and they're putting a Divine Nine group. But okay, anyway.
And then this isn't the first time that them being in a sorority has even come up on the show. Like there were people who said that Molly had a mug in season 1 that showed that she was an AKA.
She was an AKA, yeah.
And then when in season 4, when the little girl was born, Tiff actually put she was wearing pink and green and everything. The baby was wearing that stuff. So it was like this. They've always had presence, this Divine Nine presence, or at least the AKAs from the beginning. But somehow I think that, to me, a lot of this anger is rooted in the fact that it was Amanda Seales. Because a lot of people don't like her. I was everybody was talking about her, but literally Molly's reference of being an AKA was right there. Like, remember when they were outside and Molly and Issa decided to go off somewhere? Tiff was actually asking Molly if she was going to go to the AKA thing with her. And she was like, oh no, girl, you got it, kind of thing. So it was just, to me, that whole thing was blown out of proportion. And I feel like it wouldn't have been blown up way.
If it had just been Molly.
If it had just
Molly been Molly. Or even Kelly, maybe. I don't know if Kelly would be.
Kelly gives me Delta vibes. I get that she would be a Delta. I feel it. Like she would be an amazing Delta too. I just feel like she'd be a Delta.
Yeah, I like Kelly. But
but like what? Okay, so we, like
you asked me what I thought about the advice for Kelly. Yeah,
I mean, Kelly told her that you got to be fake good first, but then when they went in the car. And there was that moment that Kelly was visibly bothered by the fact that people didn't see her taking her serious. And you noticed that the only person who seemed to acknowledge or recognize that something was wrong with her even then was Tiff. Tiff was driving, but she looked over and she could see that sis was actually really bothered by it. But like, what are your thoughts around that? Like, as far as like the funny friend, or because people even call you Kelly. Like, have you ever felt like you were in a situation where people didn't take you seriously?
All the time. So I knew what she was feeling like, and that's how people do, because people think, oh, you upbeat, you okay. Meanwhile, you going through it on the back scene, going through it, like, I mean, pure hell. And nobody knows, nobody thinks of it because you always seem happy all the time. But that's why I say you always got to check on people, because people can seem any kind of way, but internally be going through some shit. Like, they might seem happy, upbeat, but like, oh, they got everything together. They all right, won't need to check on them. But everybody doesn't display when they're hurt or under pressure the same way. I know I'm like I'll be under a lot of pressure and I'll be kikiing and laughing, but on the inside I'm like, somebody please help me. I'm drowning in work. Help me. Well, I'm drowning in bills.
That's why I'm drowning in bills. I like to periodically hit some people up and be like, hey, you good? How's everything going? Mental health check.
You are extremely good with that. Like extremely good. Like you'd be like, yeah, what you feeling like?
It's easy to forget. If you're going through stuff, it's easy to forget to check on the people around you to make sure they're okay. But yeah,
I felt like that too. I felt bad for her at that moment because, excuse me. I think that was the one time in the entire series where I actually seen that Kelly was legit. She was like they really forgot about me. Like people really, that's what people said about me. But I also looked at it as like, I feel like if the seasons were to keep going, that would have been a light bulb moment for Kelly to be like, I'm going to change this narrative so that when I do actually go, people will say something totally different about me than what they did there. Because that would have hurt my feelings too. Like the only thing y'all could say about me, like not that I was a good friend or that I would have even respected somebody said, hey, Kelly was funny as hell, or you know what I'm saying? Like something.
But that's the thing that's crazy is that like they've talked about Kelly in other moments to let you know that she's like a legit friend.
We knew that anyway.
Was it Issa who mentioned once, like when she was going through it, Kelly was actually helping her with getting coupons and everything so she could stay afloat. We seen her actually go ask for like career advice from Kelly because we've never really seen a whole lot from Kelly, but like we did at least get to see her in a professional setting once when Issa.
Yeah, and we know Kelly's a boss. She got an assistant or some sort, so she's something higher up. We can assume. And then she got an assistant. She got a little office and.
Yeah, I would have expected more from Issa when they asked her, and she was like, "Oh, Kelly's gonna be Kelly," and I'm like, "Girl, like this is actually one of your friends, like, and that's all you had to say about your friend." Now, granted, she claims that she didn't know they were asking her that because they had thought she was dead. But I'm like, if somebody
she probably did not. I could see that though. That Kelly gonna
be Kelly, about your friend, like if the school is asking you about your friend, like this ain't the time for you to be like Kelly gonna be Kelly, like
because I'd have been all like Kelly's doing wonderful. She's a successful woman in X, Y, and Z company. She's changed his life. She's an excellent friend. Yeah, I would have added a little bit more than Kelly gonna be Kelly.
Yeah, that's what I would have expected. But sometimes Issa gonna be Issa sometimes.
When she was on that panel. I liked Issa's answers, and they seemed raw
too.
But I feel like they was playing her.
But I almost feel like it wasn't even that they were playing her. She went up there thinking she needed to be a certain way, rather than just thinking she could be herself. She was trying to fit into the group that she was up there on stage with. But the real talk is that. Like when she spoke honestly at the end, that's what most people want to hear. Tell us what it really is. Don't tell us this fantasy of how things are for you. Like when she had that moment and she was like, honestly, I don't even know if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I could wake up tomorrow and feel like I wasted all of my time. I mean, that's real. That's real, and a lot of us feel that. Like, and I feel like when that episode aired, that part resonated with so many people, especially in our rawness. Because we're sitting back like we have dedicated so much of our time to some of these jobs or some of the things that we're interested in, and we don't know if this is going to be it. We don't know if this is truly what we should be doing, and there is a lack. There's a mystery and a fear that is rooted in that whole idea. Like, am I wasting my time? But this life that's real. So when she finally had that moment, because like she really gonna quote Tupac while she was on stage in front of these people at Stanford.
No, that was funny. That was funny. I was like, "Whoa, Stanford stiff." I don't know why I didn't realize. I never realized they all went to Stanford.
I know. I feel like that was something that I think we knew that Molly and Issa had went to school together. At some point.
And Lawrence, all of them went to school together.
Yeah, but just not knowing that all
went to Stanford, right?
Yeah. It was very interesting to see how that all played out. But
because I said we knew they all went to college together. We knew that's how they met. Issa and Lawrence, and I'm like,
I love that they finally gave us a little bit more details of that. Like, Issa talked about when she first met Molly and how Molly kind of cut some people out and all this other stuff. Like, it's some stuff like that. Like, oh, that's nice. We finally get to hear.
Yeah, in the last season.
But so the episode ended with Issa breaking up with Lawrence.
Okay. You go first and tell me what you thought. You think she did the right thing like Spike Lee? Or nah?
I think she did. I think she did do the right thing. I think that for her, she's having a hard time trying to figure out who she is, what she's doing, the place she has in this world. And honestly, I feel like it's a lot harder to figure that out when you have somebody like Lawrence who has this type of baggage with them right now that you are not 100% sure yet that it's something you can deal with. Like,
a new baby is a lot.
Y'all have gone through a lot together, a whole lot together. And, you know, a new baby is a whole lot. Like you said, his whole life is going to change when this baby comes in. And how do you fit into that equation? And there are a lot of people that are prepared for that. They can handle that. But there are a lot of people who don't know. And she didn't know. And I think it was best for her and him that, you know, let me just remove myself from this, because I don't think that this is going to present a very good situation for either one of us yet, because
I agree.
He found out about everything. He told her, and we saw in that episode, it was only 2 months that had passed. That's still a lot to be trying to digest in a 2-month period. You can tell they were trying to act like things were still normal. Things ain't normal no more. That changes a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so, like she had a baby. Like.
Just when you saw that happen, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
I don't know. I felt it from a personal level. Like that guy really liked back home. He had a baby with somebody else. Man, that shit hurt. And I think I would have broke up with him too, just to ease myself the pain. And I think Lawrence understood that too, because in a sense, to keep holding on to her when a baby that new is selfish. Because you see how often that baby needs you. You wouldn't really truly have time for either of us. Somebody would be losing out, and I don't want that kid to lose out. It's not fair for the kid to lose out.
Imagine now, because, you know, right at that time, Condola hadn't had a baby yet, but she was pregnant. He was still moving to San Francisco. So y'all already gonna have the barrier of him being in San Francisco throughout the week and coming home on the weekends before you going up there.
That's dumb expensive.
You're dealing with a long distance thing, but then to factor in long distance and then having to split the time that you have with him with the baby when he does come, because his priority is going to be
his baby. Right.
Like, that's a lot for people.
That's a lot. Or even if she had moved to San Francisco with him and they were living together, it's a lot for you to have to leave every weekend and go up there and be with her. Who's to say you might not have a vulnerable moment and decide, you know what, I want to be with Condola for the sake of the kid? Because people do that and pretend to do that. So they can be there present and in the house with him. So I'm like, that's a problem. That's a real problem. Right. So I think she did the right thing with the breakup.
So then the episode
now, please talk about Condola.
Well, we ain't got there yet. That's episode 3.
All right. I know, man. I can't wait to get episode 3, man. Well, episode 2. Okay.
Okay, so episode 2, we see that a whole year has passed since the last time we saw them. So we can just assume that in that year, Condola's probably had the baby. But we can see that in that year, Issa and Molly have truly been working on different things. I will say, I feel like I missed it last time we were talking about it. Molly's actually been actively doing the work in there.
You just keep saying that, like,
you've seen it. Sis was literally,
we've seen it.
In her mind, she's thinking through a lot of the stuff that she's doing.
You hear me? We've seen it.
But and I was proud of her for that, because Molly has never been really about anyone but herself in a lot of her situations. Like, Molly and Issa have both been very selfish, but they've been selfish in different ways. And Molly's just been like, it's my way or the highway kind of thing. And that's been the root of a lot of her issues with her friends and her relationships. But I kind of want to skip up to Molly's mama trying to hook her up with the dude from church.
Let's skip to that, because that was wild. And when he said trapping for Jesus, I knew then, like, this ain't it. He's like, I got to trap for the Lord. I look like trap for the Lord. Boy, what?
He came over to her looking like somebody granddaddy already.
Her mom knows she wrong for that.
But have you ever, as a woman, felt the pressure of feeling like you need to start a family? Like, because, her mom was trying to push that.
Is that a real question?
Yeah,
all the time. My family be clocking these ovaries that don't belong to them.
So how do you stay centered in all of that?
I tell them about their fucking business. I'm all, you going to take care of this sad baby that you keep insisting that I have? So what happened to you and that boy? Y'all broke up? I thought y'all was going to have a baby. Were you going to raise that baby?
Right.
Oh, you weren't going to raise it? Okay. Yeah, you getting a little old. Child, Janet Jackson had a baby and she was 50. The fun don't stop till menopause come, okay? We'll worry about it then, okay?
Right. So,
everybody just, when you going to have a baby? Because a lot of people tend to have kids when they're fucking 12. And their kids are 50 now because they had them when they were 12. Everybody don't want kids when they're 12. What if I don't want to start till I'm 36? What if I'm like, you know what? I'm 36. I'm having a baby now. Guess whose business it is? Mine. Yours. I'm about 36 and I'm comfortable now. I'll probably be even more comfortable by the time I'm 36, God willing. You know, even better. Mm-hmm. Makes me even better. I see. I don't want to be old chasing no kids around. Bitch, this is what you do when you're wealthy. I'll have a fucking nanny. How about that?
Okay.
How about that, hoes? Mm-hmm. Everybody kept saying, see, I don't want to be old chasing a baby around. But you were young and poor. So that's why you had to chase one. See, when you wait sometimes, things get better. And then I waited. And now I have a nanny. And that's not to take anything away from my babies who had kids young, because you know I love y'all to death and I love y'all.
But this is the situation that you're trying to put yourself in.
But but this is the situation I'm putting myself in, right? Because I don't want my homegirls who had kids young to be thinking like, oh, you taking shots at us. No, I love y'all. Y'all my babies. Love y'all to death. Absolutely zero judgment for y'all. This is for them hoes that think they cute, like everybody talking about teen, their kids and kids. But guess what? I still get time for me, because guess what? When that kid is 20, I'll still be 56, the same as you. You'll just have older kids. But I'll be able to have lived my 20 kids free with just me and grown up and still get to live my 50s and random. You only got to dedicate a short amount of time to that rearing part, and they become adults. You still be their parent and you still are involved. And that doesn't take away from your parental duties. But I'll have adult kids too. Like, people make it like it's just so, I don't want to do. Who cares what you don't want? I ain't ask you to babysit my baby. I damn sure ain't ask you for no money. Why does it matter? Then you would get a nanny. Yeah, wouldn't you have got one raising yours? Don't play with me. You would have if you could have.
Yes, let's be honest. You didn't hire a nanny, but you used your grandparent, your grandmother, or your mother as a nanny to help out. So you had a nanny. You just didn't have to pay for them.
Right.
And a lot of times you did pay for them. Let's be honest. You had to pay in something. But like, don't try to sit here and shade somebody else because they got help, because you got help too.
Yeah. That's what people do. They're like, oh, you're going to be old and you're going to be. And I'm thinking like, yeah, but then I'll also be more mature too. I ain't got to grow up with my kids. Sometimes when you have kids young, you grow up with them. And I don't want to grow up with mine. I want mine to know, because I don't want my oldest one to feel like they got this shitty mom and the young one gets this better, more mature version. Because that's what happens sometimes too when you have kids young, right?
Or that your kids think that y'all friends because y'all so young together.
Yeah. And the mom is like, oh, my mom wasn't like that with me. But see, with my little brother, she's like this in a year because she learned to mature and evolve, right? So I'm gonna come in with a little bit more maturity, and that's okay. Again, nothing to the people who did it young. That's y'all business. Again, I love y'all, and it is no shade to y'all. But for the people who had them young and trying to shade people who are having them later, mind your fucking business. Because I ain't asked you for shit. I ain't asked you to babysit. I ain't asked you for no money. Okay? Okay. But yeah, family members always trying to control your ovaries. It's a thing. It's a thing. And I think it spans across all races. You're a woman in her 30s with no kids or no boyfriend, baby, your family being your business. And y'all know me. Y'all know I'm quick with it. I be giving that same energy back. Like, oh, you got another baby's dad? What's this, 4, 5? Not about your kids being mismatched. then it because, see, now it's an attitude. Now I got to get carried out the event. Why I'm getting carried out the event? But she pressed me on my ovaries and I asked her about hers. Now I'm the one that was in the wrong. See what I'm talking about? That's what I was saying. But no, I kick that same energy back. So most of my family, they learning to ease up. So I definitely be having the same energy. Like, oh, because I ain't have a baby when I was 12, like KK. Oh, my bad. My bad. How's KK's baby? What is this, 8? This is 8? Oh, my God. When are you having kids? I'm not. I'm going to take one of KK's. I'm not. I want to just take one of hers. She has plenty. She has enough to give each of us a fucking child. So, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Let me stop playing. I got real personal with that because it does personally grind my gears. It just bothers me. People are like, when are you having kids? When are you?
Right. So the biggest thing I think in this episode, outside of that part, was Issa trying to navigate her way through what I'm going to just consider white America in the corporate world. So, she's got the block, which I'm so glad she finally remembered what the block stands for, because you can't have a business and not remember what it stands for. Like, you supposed to know what. Don't do that. Don't do that. At least you better know that. Because not Issa being ghetto. But, so she's in this position where she's trying to help her client, Crenshaw, because, yes, somebody probably somewhere has named their child after the city of Crenshaw and threw an N on it. And it's played by Kofi, who, fine.
Yeah, we know Kofi.
So she has a client. He's like, basically, what is he, like a reform prisoner? Like, he had gone to jail. He's gotten out. He started like his own like fashion label and all this other fashion line, all this kind of stuff. And she is like working with this company, and they basically tell her like, yo, we like him, but we're gonna have to cut some stuff out of his show. Like, we don't think it's worth us investing all of this into him because he's new. We don't know if we're gonna get that money back. Kind of like,
then they gonna say they we have a list of people you can choose from. Like,
so
not
like,
y'all having a list.
So like, Issa's put in that position where she knows what she believes in. She knows what the block stands for, and then she also knows that she might have to make compromises at the expense of the clients that she has to get them in these spaces.
Hey, when she did it a little, we might got to change it a little bit. He all like, change what though?
Right. Because, and I can feel him, but I can feel her too. I can feel him because you have this girl, she's come to you. She has been sold on your idea. She's been standing behind everything that you said that you want this show to represent. And then she goes to the powers that be, and then now she's coming back telling you that, no, we can't do that now. It's like, is she wrong? Because, he was mad that she didn't stand up for him.
Sort of a piece of, yeah.
She was like,
and she did try to stand up for him, though.
Like, tell them no. Like, what I came to you for. Wait, no, not even I came to you for, because she came to him. Like, you came to me because of this. You came to me because of what I represented and what this was standing for. And now you're coming to me and essentially telling me that that's too much. And it's like, but this is what you want.
She did try to fight. But yeah, as she was in a base fight, it's like, this is her brand. So she's trying to be accommodating and trying to find a mutual ground. Like, well, you're in this space. So that's the main thing. Basically, it seemed to me like she's like, get your feet wet and then do your thing. Like, get your feet wet. Then you can get more autonomy over what you want to do. But I understood what he was saying. I'm an artist and I should have autonomy from the gate. Like he said, you came to me. I didn't seek you out.
Yeah, I didn't need you.
I agree with him on that.
I was good doing this on my own. You thought that you were helping me.
Right.
And in the end, I guess ultimately he's helping her.
Right, he is. But can we also talk about Issa's assistant scanning Molly because she thought she shot out?
Oh my God.
She said she still think I shot up I was dying. The fact that she thinks Molly shot up the event, that is funny. Because Molly had made a scene.
Yeah, and there was a moment there, even in that scene, that showed their growth, Issa and Molly, because they actually joked about that day. Because that was a big, bad day.
Big day, big blow up. Yeah.
And now they can actually laugh about it. So it's like, okay, we've talked about this, we've officially moved past it. Because, when you can actually talk about something and it's not bothering you anymore, you've moved
past it. Yeah. Hey, that was funny as hell. She's like, when she wanted her, she would say, girl, she still think I shot out the what was it, the block party? She said she still think I shot out the block party. I was not her thinking she shot up, like, yeah, she didn't shut up the block party. She really gonna wonder, like, I'm just making sure she ain't got nothing on her.
Right.
Like, she had a gun at the event, was going to shoot it out. But I'm happy that he went against everything Issa said and did his thing. Because it turns out they liked it.
And then that's the scary part. What if he did that and then they didn't like it?
They hadn't?
They said he went ahead and did it, and then, like, what, that could have ended up really bad for Issa, because it wouldn't have been bad for him. It would have been bad for her.
Bad for her, right? Because it's her brand. But that's one thing I don't like about corporate America. They don't respect individuality, individualism. Like, yeah, this is my brand, and I put this person, but no one can control a single person. He did what he wanted to do. Now, Issa told him what the parameter was. He agreed to it and said, hey, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, which is why people ended up getting sued for stuff. That was like, oh, I agree. And he went on and still did his thing.
But in the end, like you said, he was sold on it. He saw it and was like, yo, like, this was real dope. And then it put her in this position, like, she felt bad because she really didn't stand for 100% behind him.
Yeah.
She said she tried a little bit,
but she could have fought harder. Yeah.
Because in his mind, he's like, no, you could have just told them no. Like, you could have told them no. Like, this is what they want. Like, no, this is what I want you to stand behind me and say, we are only doing this if he can do this in the vision that he did. And now she's seeing that he was right. It was scary how he did it, because it could have gone really left. But she's seeing that he was right. But now he doesn't, he's not going to have any type of respect for her.
Yeah,
because
I wonder what it's gonna be like tonight for tonight's episode.
Yeah, because you saw in the preview, like, he made like a post calling her a fraud.
Wait, I didn't peep that in the preview.
Oh, you didn't see the preview?
So have you been watching the videos after, like the little talks and the little podcast?
I haven't watched the wind down. I think that's what it's called. But this was just like, soon as it ended, it showed a preview, and in the preview,
I missed it because I went to sleep immediately after.
Yeah, so they were out.
He called her a fraud.
She made a post, and he replied to her and called her a fraud in it. So you can tell that.
So she probably didn't say something positive, like, "Yeah, you only saying it because it went off right the way you want it, but you're not for real." Because I hate to see it.
Yeah, so I'm very interested in seeing how that plays out. But then, okay, so after all that happened, Issa, who to me has been flirting with Nathan almost every time we've seen them.
Nathan's my baby.
He's always been very respectful. Like, last time we tried to do this, you basically told me, you talking to this dude, we are friends now, I'm gonna stay in my friend place. But
right, he don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, so then she invites him over to her house, falls asleep
on him, over to my place,
and he's like, "Yo, you're not even up. I'm gonna go home." Like, because that would have pissed me off too. Like, I ain't got no car. I Ubered over here, and then
I love Nathan's voice. He's like, "I'm gonna just head home." I'm like,
yeah, he's real chill about it.
Like, could you? I love how Nathan talk. Like, could you just talk all day? Just talk.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm gonna go home.
She tells him to stay, and they about to do the thing, and she starts crying in his mouth.
Yeah, that was blowing me.
Like, literally in his mouth. And when it started happening, I thought she was laughing. I was like, there's no way is that Issa crying? Because this is also this is the first time Issa has cried, like boo-hoo crying on the show. Like, where she's making the crying noise. So she cried in his mouth. And imagine how awkward that is. Like, he didn't even ask to be over there. He didn't ask
to stay. Then you tried to have sex with him. And then you cry.
Then you cry in his mouth. And then he's left in this position where, one, he's still your friend. So he's trying to comfort you. So he still embraced her. Yeah. But he also feels stupid that he put himself in this position to even allow this to happen because you've played him before.
But Nathan played her too. But from the gate, Nathan has kind of been reboundish.
Yeah, he's always been rebound. That's the weird thing about Nathan is that I don't know if I felt like he played her. Because ultimately he stepped back because of his own mental health issues. And he was having a hard time dealing with that. And there's that shame that comes along with that because he's not just dealing with depression. He was dealing with bipolar disorder. And that people look at bipolar crazy. They like, oh, this person is unstable, all this other stuff. So he had to get to a place where he could even openly talk about it to tell people what he was dealing with. So I understand he may not have navigated it well, but he was going through a lot that he would have been trying to tell somebody that he hadn't even come to terms with himself.
Right.
And I think that Molly made Nathan sound worse than he was because she was like, he ain't doing this. And then the day that I think that he was actually going to go over there and tell her that stuff, Molly turned him away.
We're happy that she blocked him. Because she ain't want him to ruin Issa's good day.
Yeah, and we saw that as she was being a good friend there. Like, yo, no, you've already done this. You need to go. You violated, But then we also see like what happens when you really don't know what people are going through and what's going on in their world, and you're not giving them the opportunity to speak up and tell you that.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah, she literally cried in his mouth, thinking she was ready, and she wasn't. Which to me, this is what I've been telling people. What I believe is this year has passed, and I don't think not once during this year she's actually been actively working to get over what has happened with her and Lawrence. And I think that, she and Molly have gotten in a good place, but I think that she has used Molly to fill a void so that she doesn't have to deal with the stuff that happened with Lawrence. Because you hear in the beginning of the episode that they're over each other's houses all the time to the point where Issa just went ahead and bought her a special pillow for when she was coming over. So that was very cute. They're spending a lot of time together. And while Molly's still going to therapy and working on herself, I don't think Issa's been doing the same for herself in this moment with Nathan. Yeah, and this moment with Nathan is showing her that there's still a lot of work that she has left to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, Okay, so now I'm giving this episode 3 to you.
Child, first of all, I'm sleepy. I'm yawning and whatnot. Episode 3, baby.
You want to talk about Condola.
That damn baby, Condola and Lawrence need to find a happy medium. Because Condola was like, I got it. I could do it by myself. And this is what Lawrence was trying to tell her. Like, this is not going to be... Condola was, I think, approaching having a baby and being pregnant, I think, in a way that she does her work. And she's successful at it. And you can't do that with kids. And you can't do that because people are unpredictable, even babies.
Yeah.
And I think now she's recognizing just how hard it is, because now she's like, well, you're doing this and this, and I'm not getting a break, but you told me I could be involved if I wanted to be or not. But Lawrence acted like he wanted to be involved. She gave you an out. You didn't take it. But now you're all the way in San Francisco. You're half-assed, and now she's burned out. But it's like, this is why he said not to keep it. If a man, this is what my mom always told me, if he don't want one of you, he don't want two. Condola didn't listen, and she kept her baby, which is okay. Keep your baby.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it would have been different if she would have kept the baby and he had said, you know what, I don't want this child. I'm going to remove myself from it. She would have just been dealing with it on her own,
right? And just be completely
and that would have been that would have just been it. That would have been she knows what to expect because she knows he's not going to be there. But when you have someone telling you, I'm gonna be here, and then you see that okay, they can only be there on the weekends. They're going to cancel on the weekends because sometimes they're not going to be able to come down. It's just like there's so many other variables that you now have to consider, and then you also have to sit back and there's this thing that I've been telling people too, where it's like she went into it thinking she was going to be doing this on her own, but then when someone tells you that they're going to be there, you build that expectation that they're going to be there, and then when they're not there, you're let down because you opened yourself up to the possibility of the person being in that space again, only for them to not do it 100%. Like, you know, you and I talk about it all the time. Like, either you do it 100% or don't half-ass stuff.
Yeah.
Don't half-ass anything.
Do not half-step on nothing. And that was funny. Oh, that inappropriate ass nurse too. Right. That inappropriate nurse about, Mom only tears a little, sir, or Miss Mamas, this is, remember that nurse? I was like, what the hell? What kind of nurse? Even Lawrence was looking like nurse. And then Kiki really is like somebody's ratchet sister. Trip. Yes, you can tell she really somebody's ratchet sister.
She's acting just like a lot of these family members would be acting. Like, yo, you're not gonna sit here and play with me and my family like this. Like,
yeah, Kiki was like, let's get him on the support now.
So there were a lot of moments in this episode that I think that both of them.
Not Robin Givens being her mom, though.
Right. You know, she was.
I mean, not Robin Givens. What's her name?
I know who you're talking about.
Leela Rakan.
Yeah. She was just like everybody else. A lot of people's mamas would be like, you know, we know he ain't worth nothing, but he here, so let's be welcoming. So she was very like, hey, nice to meet you. Which is crazy to me that this is the first time he met her family.
Because they were having sex. That's what happens when you link on a sneaky. Well, she was sneaky link, but you link it.
It shows you even more about how not serious this thing was.
They were.
They were not serious.
And okay, she a different black mom because y'all know how black moms be. My mom would have been on my ass. She'd have been all like, "And you ain't met his mother yet, and you don't know his family. How come we ain't seen him yet? Why ain't he trying to meet us?"
I've been saying this whole time. Like people have been putting. I've been calling her something different.
Why didn't you introduce us?
So like remote controller has been like doing her thing, but my whole thing was this, like people were like, well, I've been telling people you become a dad when she's pregnant, not when the baby's born. So like the fact that he told her when she said that she was pregnant, that he was like, he made that decision that he wanted to be there. You have made no efforts during the whole time she was pregnant to be there. How is it that she named the whole baby and you didn't know anything about this baby's name?
Didn't know the granddad's name or not. He was just like
Mufasa or whatever.
She isolated him too, though. It's like they've been isolating
both
each other.
Of them were trash. Like when it came to the lack of communication between both of them during this whole pregnancy and after the pregnancy is awful. Like
I like the Tip's husband said something too. Like the kid can feel that.
But you know,
he always a voice of reason.
Yeah, but the other one is always trash. It's literally like Lawrence was in the middle, and then he got the devil and the angel on his shoulders, and Lawrence never listens to the angel. He always listens to the other one because that person is fueling him and understanding the pain that he's in. Like they're supporting that pain, but not giving him reason, making him understand that certain things. Because like when he went to the birthday party and he gave that child solids, it's like, you don't just give a child solids. Like y'all, most people talk about that unless you're a grandparent. Grandma gonna give some sausages or some pancakes one day. But like
some chicken bones or greens.
Talk about that stuff. Just like a lot of times, a lot of parents will get like the allergy tests and stuff done just to see what the baby's actually allergic to before they start introducing them to solids.
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
Like, and then they end up dying.
Yeah, that's what he said. She was like, what if he was allergic?
There's a lot of stuff that he's not allergic. As a dad who's been disconnected, not being able to be there for all of these meetings and all this other stuff, that's stuff that he's not understanding. And it's showing the lack of knowledge he has as a parent because he's not there enough to be dad.
Right. Everything, because you can't parent on the weekends.
And then assuming that you are actually able to be with the child the whole weekend. You going down there on a Friday night. I'm gonna guess you probably gonna see them, and like I think even in the text message, like one of the things he said something about being there around 8:00, so he was going there around 8:00. But and then I don't think he also understands the level of anxiety that a mother would have relinquishing the control, like giving up their baby. Like this person's only here on the weekend. You come to pick them up, and I have to be okay. So in that particular moment when they had the big blow up, like the baby was already crying, being a baby.
I think she should have given him a chance to try to soothe him though too. That's the only way the baby's gonna get used to him too. Because she was like, I gotta do it. Let me do it. Like they gotta be willing to.
You know, if
I wouldn't let him leave with it though. I'd have been like, soothe him and just stay here. Like the first few visits, like stay here with me. I can give you some tips. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We could do it together, and then it'd be like, all right, bet you can take him now. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. But I would have asked him to stay at my place. I'd have been like, could you just stay here with him? And like, I could do what I need to do. I could run some errands, like real quick. Like, if I need to run some chores. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Clean up the house. Because I'm sure with a new mom, you might have time. Get in the shower. I hear a lot of my friends who were new moms saying, yo, the most basic things are so hard to do when you got a new baby. And they were saying things like the shower and being able to cook and do certain stuff is like a lifesaver if you got somebody on deck. That's why a lot of women, you'll see our moms, like when we have babies, our moms will come and stay with you for a few weeks. My mom was already saying that, like when I have a baby, she'll be around for a few weeks. My aunts have done it. When their kids have, or their daughters have kids. Yeah, or the mom just be watching the grandbaby. Like mom watches while the mom showers until they get into a routine. Then when they get a routine, grandma goes home, and that'd be it.
And that's the thing that I think.
My mom said my aunts did that with her.
I think that Lawrence isn't really thinking about like Condola has a routine. She has a routine, and you're coming here on the weekends.
Right.
We have to also think of a routine that incorporates you so that this transition from the baby being with me to being with you for a day isn't too traumatic for the child either.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that they have not communicated, and then the lack of communication definitely came out during this argument. But then the fact that he basically is going to say, you dropped this bomb on me, like, sir, okay.
You didn't respond to me either.
Right, you also fucked her. Like, let's sit here and like, if y'all were being 100% protective and protective.
Because didn't he say something like she messed his life up, or
she made it look like this was all her fault. Like he did not participate at all in any of this. Like, sir, you slid in there. Like you shot the club up.
Right.
I'm just saying, like both of y'all were responsible here. And she told you, hey, I'm just telling you that this baby, I'm pregnant, I'm keeping the baby. You don't have to be a part of the child's life. But I think she felt like she needed to at least let him know that this child was going to be out. She didn't
let him know, but I don't think she should have gave him the option to not be involved because it's hard. And that's what he was saying. Like, this is hard. It's a baby. Like, this is going to be different. And now you're seeing what it's like.
Yeah, but then he's not seeing how hard it is.
How hard it is, right?
Yeah, because he's out here living his best life, and like when they showed that split screen where they both laid on the couch, and then all of a sudden you see how
he got up and went about his day, and he did the toast and was doing stuff for work, and
she out here falling asleep on the toilet. It's just not, like you see how difficult things are, but he doesn't see how difficult things are.
Yeah.
In his mind, like he's been telling her, oh, it's going to be hard. You're having a baby, but you don't see how hard it is because you haven't had the experience in it. It almost makes me think that when the baby was born, he didn't even take paternity leave. He didn't even stay around long enough to understand what she was going to be dealing with as a mother.
Right.
So it's just a lot. Crazy. So this next episode is going to be interesting, seeing how what's happening with Issa and Molly. There's a scene in the trailer where Nathan is with his friends, right? They went to like a beach. It looks like a beach party or something. And one of Nathan's friends is trying to holler at Molly. So Nathan and them are in a car, and the friend is like, hey, so would you mind if I try to holler at your girl's girl? And he was like, oh, that ain't my girl. She everybody girl. Right. I was like, oh. Wait, how did I? Right. But then you see a scene where they're at least talking and drinking together. So maybe they're being cordial. I think Issa's she's been trying to apologize for what she did.
Yeah.
And the situation she put him in. But I don't think he's really been wanting to hear it. Like, he hasn't been answering any of her calls and everything, which has got to be weird since you know that the block is like inside of his barbershop in the back. Right. But so it's going to be interesting. I'm here for it. If you have friends that have not been watching Insecure, you need to put them on. Insecure is easily one of the best shows that's on TV. It's a show that a lot of people can relate to. And it's one of them shows where it's not forced drama. We seeing people have regular shit happen to them that we see other people have happen to them all the time. This doesn't seem like some fantasy world. Like we seen friendships get made. We see them fall apart. We see people struggle. We see people break up. We see them get back together. I really feel like these are people that I'm friends with because they dealing with regular stuff that we deal with all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's sad that this is going to be the last season. But yes.
I was going to try to revive it like the game.
No, because this is 3 times that the game has been revived and nobody cares. Nobody cares. So
I feel like that was one of their most successful shows and they just will not let it go.
At all. So that brings us to the end of the episode, Urban Laughter. Because to me, Insecure is living while black. Like it's the definition of living while black.
Living black ones our lives.
So, is there anything you want to leave our listeners with before we go?
Watch Insecure tonight because it comes on. Mm-hmm. What is it? Well, 10 Eastern time, 9 Central.
Mm-hmm. So I have something.
And what time is that on the West Coast?
I guess it'll be 7. Mm-hmm. So here's my thing. And I'm going to close out. I'm going to try to close out immediately after I say this. Immediately.
Okay. I need a nap. I'm sleepy.
Okay, here we go. All my friends are naughty. And there's me, the Holy One. And with that, I would like to let you all go.
Not you trying to instantly cut us off. Not on this podcast and you be drunk. Well, not on this podcast and you be drunk. Like, what?
First of all, mind your business. Mind your business. And with that, ballheads, we will talk to you guys next week.
Farewell, so long.